She's already done.
To what? One. The second one is in the building, so we'll get that one
Okay, we have been in study session, but now we're going to resume. So please stand and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Leanne Whithelm was appointed to the Board of Education, and so we are now going to do the oath of office. Please repeat after me. I, Leanne Whithelm,
I, Leanne Whithelm,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely and without mental reservation
that I take this obligation freely and without mental reservation
or for purpose of evasion,
or for purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office
and I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office
of School Board Member of Norfolk Public Schools
of School Board Member of Norfolk Public Schools
according to law and to the best of my ability.
according to law and to the best of my ability.
And I do further swear that I do not advocate,
And I do further swear that I do not advocate,
nor am I a member of any political party or organization
nor am I a member of any political party or organization
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States
or of this state by force or violence.
or of this state by force or violence.
And that during such time as I am in this position,
And during such time that I am in this position,
I will not advocate nor become a member of any political party or organization
that I will not advocate nor become a member of any political party or organization
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of this state by force or violence.
that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of this state by force or violence.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Norfolk Board of Education, Leanne. Okay, we now have one of our favorite parts of the meeting. It's called Focus on the Students. Dr. Ippenson.
As they're coming out here, I'm just going to give a brief introduction. Operation Employability and our transition services. Our transition services have been in place for some years. Operation Employability is a relatively new, in the last 2 years, program that we've adopted, and we're excited because it's a natural extension of our mission. The purpose of Operation Employability is to develop and enhance skills to independently secure and maintain employment while pursuing their goals for the future. And as you learn a little bit about what our students are doing, I think that you're going to see some truly fantastic work that's being done by our students in the community, and here's some really exciting stories. Who's first?
At Adult Transition, we do a lot of things to prepare us for a better life. One of those things is job sites. Most of the places have us clean up better than when we showed up. Some places even give us treats if we do a wonderful job working there.
We work at Burger King, Dairy Queen, First Christian, Sandwich County, Auburn Matron, in the Y, in our school. We are looking forward to more places to work all the time.
Classwork is assignments about life, independence, and money. We learn to pay our bills on our own, on time, and to keep track of our money. We also do chores and keep the house clean. We have activities in the morning, sometimes with book reading, speech, and PE. When the weather is nice, we go on walks outside to show how we can be active on our own.
Sometimes we go on field trips to see what banks we could use in town or places we could live after we graduate. I like that the program teaches us about jobs and life skills that we need in life.
Why is it important, you may ask? The program is for both people like us who need more time to learn things, and also for businesses to see how great of workers we will be for them. It also helps us grow in independence and achieve our goals.
Thanks, man. We try to be the Norfolk Panther for a long time, and we try to be strong, tough, fast, and really cool. And we try to join our new teachers, trying to help us. And, well, we try to get messy all the time, we try to work all the time, and we try to help each other, and, I work at Dairy Queen, Burger King, the Bacon Army, and PE1, and we trying to get done, and we try to do the job part, and that when we try to be the Norfolk Panthers, maroon and white.
Oh yeah, and present too.
So you just heard from the job skills students. When the students graduate from Norfolk Senior High, they have several tracks that they can do. They could go to the Adult Transition House and do job skills and jobs in the morning or afternoon. And they either go out on jobs in the morning or jobs in the afternoon. And the other part of the day is their daily life skills, living, things like that. And there's another track where they could go to Operation Employability. And these are students that will most likely be able to work out in the community independently as adults. They could do jobs or adult transition for a year or two, and then do Operation Employability the last year. Or they could just go to Operation Employability. So one thing cool about this program is we have been able to make it whatever we need it to be.
Hi, my name is Cordova. I'm a tenant of Operation Employ the one-year program for disabled students to get a job background around businesses in Norfolk. My current rotation is at Norfolk Cornhusker detailing service. So I detail person rooms, wheels, anything you name it. My plan after I graduate is to get a job in the automotive industry. My dream to become a mechanic. Our mission statement is
My name is Jonathan Contreras. I'm an Operation and Employability student. Operation and Employability is a one-year program of students with disabilities to gain work experiences in Norfolk. My current job experience is at Salvation Army, where I help stock pantry, help interpret for the Spanish-speaking customers. I'm also employed at Hy-Vee East, where I work in courtesy. After graduation, I plan on continuing to improve my work experiences in Hy-Vee. Our mission for this program is to help and develop and skills for the future.
Hello, my name is Trujillo. I'm an Operation Employability student. Operation Employability is 1 year high school program for students with disabilities and students that have graduated from high school to gain work experience in businesses in Norfolk. My work experience is at Hy-Vee East, where I'm currently employed. At Hy-Vee East, I work in the Asian department. I cook, run the register from time to time, also translate and get orders ready up, and anything else I need to do. My plans after graduation is to continue working at Hy-Vee East. Our mission for this program is to maintain and develop our skills to independently secure and maintain or pursuing our goals to the future. Does anyone have any questions?
So as you can tell, it takes a lot of partners to pull something like this off. And tonight we'd like to recognize some of our most important partners. Hopefully you're here. The students have a little something for you. Some of our partners are Salvation Army, Kelly and Jesus. Hy-Vee East, Jean. Cornhusker Auto, Nate. Randy from the YMCA, Susie from Orphan Grain Train, Troy from Burger King, Janet from the Volunteer Services at Faith Regional Health Services, Yari from Dairy Queen, and Tim from First Christian Church. We have been extremely blessed to have you as partners, and if you know of any other businesses who would be willing to help us expand these opportunities, we are always looking for more partners. If there are no questions, we'll say thank you.
I guess I have a question. Can you work anywhere in the community, or are these the options that students have?
I'll let Tammy answer that because she's more well prepared.
So one thing cool about this program is we have been able to work wherever the students' interests are. Last year, we were able, everybody that when they graduated, they had a job out in the community. So if they are interested in car detailing, I don't go put them at a daycare. And that's one thing is really, Mr. Settles has always said, we can make this program whatever we need it to be, and it's been very person-centered. One of our students comes to school for the mornings from 8 to 9:30 is our class session, and then they dismiss to go out on their jobs. And one of our students actually is already employed, so he comes to the 8 to 9:30 class session. He goes to Hy-Vee East for the rest of the day, and sometimes works more than one shift a day. In fact, tonight, he's working. Said he had to come and get it for 10-15 minutes and he can go back to work. So, yeah, they can work wherever they need to work, so.
I have one other,
Okay.
one other, just a comment. It's great to see, as a former retired junior high teacher, it's great to see some of my former students up there. And it's great to see what you've become and what you're going to become. And the future's bright for all of you. And so it's great to see you all.
You did an amazing job, and to see you all in that maroon and white is just heartwarming. You look so awesome.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
of our business partners have been good about giving us Nike uniforms so we can feel part of the team. And then we've noticed a difference in the students' attitudes when they were dressed in uniform. So we were able to get these shirts to wear for the job sites that didn't have the uniform. So we look really sharp and around the community. So
You do look very sharp.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you.
we have all the businesses stand up again so we can make sure we got them recognized.
And I would like to thank all of you who work with our students and with this program. Without you, obviously, we could not provide these students with this opportunity. So thank you so much for your partnership.
We're going to continue with our meeting, but this is the time you may secretly slip out. Or you can stay. You're welcome to stay. No pressure. Okay, we are to public comments and communication. This is the time during the meeting when the public may request to address the board. If you wish to comment, we ask that you identify yourself, including your address, the name of the organization you represent, and the topic that you wish to address. Each individual comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Please note that the board cannot discuss or act upon matters that are not listed on the agenda. Therefore, board members will not respond to your comments or questions. If you wish to request that an item be placed on a future board agenda, you may contact the superintendent or her assistant during normal business hours. Also note that concerns related to school personnel need to be addressed to the superintendent using the approved district protocol. Is there anybody that would like to come forward? No? Okay. We are now to our information and discussion items. 8.1, Finance and Facilities Report. Dr. Robinson.
Thank you, Madam President. Total amount of claims to be approved in the consent agenda for the month of October by funds are listed below. Also are the total amount of claims for the month of September, and the activities fund is also listed. All these claims were reviewed earlier today by our Finance Facility Committee. The 2021 audit of district financials is near completion. A complete audit report will be presented to the board at the October 28th Board of Education meeting. We did spend some time on that audit today in Finance and Facility, and that will be reported on later on during committee reports.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. 8.2, Teaching and Learning Report. Beth Nelson.
Thank you, Madam President. We have continued our small groups meeting on curriculum. We have had some days that have had to become postponed due to lack of sub-availability. And the Board of Education Curriculum Committee will be meeting soon, and they will hear a comprehensive report on our curriculum work, our proposed updates, and information on our program pilots, as well as holding our one of 2 required civics committee meetings this year. And our team works very closely with Mrs. Dahlman, Mr. Wilson, and Mrs. Moore's office to plan our October 25th PD that will be coming up this next month as well.
Thank you, Mrs. Nelson. 8.3, Student Program Reports. Mary Lord.
Thank you, Madam President. Our school nurses have been working with Elkhorn Logan Valley Public Health Department and setting up flu shots for staff in our district. Shots will be available to staff at each of the buildings. The schedule has been shared with our staff for sign-up. Our ELL teachers, during PLC time, ELL staff are reviewing the fall map growth data and the intervention programs we will use to assist our students. Mental health providers, memorandums of understanding have been completed with our local providers of our mental health services. Our licensed mental health practitioners at the high school will be presenting to our staff on October 25th for our staff development day. Special education leadership team has been meeting monthly for half days to update special education procedures. The special education targeted intervention plan, or the TIP you've heard me call it, will also be reviewed and updated with the leadership team. I will be virtually participating in an NDE stakeholders meeting for the results-driven accountability on October 28th. I will also participate in the NDE state team, which is reviewing special education staff shortages on November 2nd. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mrs. Leward. 8.4, Student Services Report, Eric Wilson.
Thank you, Madam President. October 13th will be officially the last day of first quarter. Teachers will be finalizing grades the rest of this week, and then next week we'll be conducting our first semester parent-teacher conferences. Conferences this year will be a combination of in-person and a Zoom option for those who prefer not to go in person. Individual school buildings are sending out information to the families on the flexible conferencing options. Teachers are posting short instructional videos and then scheduling those Zoom times with parents who would like to discuss things specific to their student. We are still following our parent-teacher conference schedule listed below. Students will not have school on Friday the 22nd or Monday the 25th.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because before it was all Zoom, and to see how it, what the percentage is of in-person and Zoom.
The numbers last year looked really good.
Yes.
So definitely excited to see what's going to happen this year.
Thank you. 8.5, Human Resources and Accreditation Report, Angie Bauman.
Thank you, Madam President. The Human Resources Office has seen an increase in the number of applications received since the NPS School Board unanimously approved the hourly classified staff pay proposal. The increase of $2.54 to the base wages of all classified positions has most likely been a contributing factor to the increase in applications within the district. From September 1st through the 13th, we received 10 applications for a variety of positions. The proposal was approved at the September 13th board meeting. From September 14th through the 28th, we received 43 applications for a variety of positions. So I want to thank the board for recognizing this need and responding to the proposal in a timely manner. Currently, we are still searching for a couple of special education paraprofessionals, although maybe only one since I wrote this on Thursday. Bus drivers, a maintenance and transportation staff member, and substitutes in a variety of areas. So thank you.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Bauman. Superintendent's report, Dr. Thompson.
Thank you. It is that time of year when we begin the negotiations process with our non-supervisory certificated staff, which most people refer to as teachers. According to state statute, we must begin negotiations with our approved collective bargaining agency, the NCEA, before November 1st. We are required to hold 4 meetings or settle the contract before February 8th. If we are not able to reach a settlement with the NCEA by February 8th, then we must submit our case to a resolution officer, which we hope does not happen. Once an agreement has been reached with the NCEA regarding certificated employee pay, we will begin working on other employee groups within the district. Typically, we apply the same percentage increase to all of our employee groups, but that is not necessarily a requirement. My second topic tonight is annexation. According to state statute 79473, a representative from Norfolk Public Schools is required to meet with a representative from each of the schools that has land that is being annexed into Norfolk within 30 days of the annexation, which was October 4th, in order to determine which school district will serve the annexed land. If the districts cannot reach an agreement, then the annexed land is transferred to the public school located within the city that was annexed. So that would be Norfolk. Board President Sandy Wolf and I will meet with the superintendent and board presidents of Battle Creek and Madison Public Schools this Thursday, October 14th, to begin this negotiations process. It is our belief that all land within Norfolk city limits should be served by Norfolk Public Schools. Thus, it is our intent to pursue the transfer of those parcels of land to Norfolk Public Schools through an annex agreement. You can see the attached chart for details regarding the land that is in question, and you can also see an enrollment report. In that enrollment report, you'll see that we lost 6 students this month, but that isn't necessarily a concern. We have a fairly high mobility rate. We have kids move in and out all year long, so we will want to see if there is a trend that develops.
Has there been any month that we lost? Is that September that we lost?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. We are now to committee reports. 9.1, Facilities and Finance. Brenda Carr.
The committee met at noon today. The claims of the month of October and activity claims for September were reviewed. The auditors, or auditor, provided an overview of the 2020-2021 audit of financial records and answered any questions. The committee then reviewed the following items. Updates on current district projects and upcoming activity facility needs. Updates in technology in the large boardroom. Can I say that we're looking at putting a screen on that wall too?
No, don't say it.
That's our technology update.
So Sandy just.
Yeah, so Sandy. Annexation, which Dr. Thompson just talked about. Review of the current contract with LSI and their need to implement a staff wage. Also implement staff wage increases, so they felt the same things we have. Updates on the Benjamin Ave Street project in front of middle school. Updates on the Odd Fellows request for property. Review of the certified negotiations process for 2022-2023, which will start at the end of the month. The next meeting will be November 8th. Any questions?
Thank you, Brenda. 9.2, Activities Committee Report. Jake Lawson.
Thank you, Madam President. The Activities Committee met at noon on October 4th, 2021. During that meeting, Mr. Irwin and Mr. Bronick provided an update on fall activities, including participation numbers and season highlights. There's been ample season highlights, and most of the participation numbers were pretty much equal to what they were last year, so that was a good report. Mr. Irwin also announced that the prom will be moved from April 30th, 2022 to April 9th, 2022, due to the sale of the Event Center. We are in the process of communicating this change to students and parents so they have ample amount of time to adjust their plans. Mr. Irwin surveyed students to determine the amount of interest there was in adding bowling as an activity. The committee brainstormed a list of questions for Mr. Irwin to research in regards to a potential proposal. They asked him to follow up with this at our February meeting. This would leave time for additional questions and research prior to our April meeting if needed. Both Mr. Irwin and Mr. Bronick thanked the committee for the increase in classified hourly pay, which increased activity workers' pay from $12.46 to $15 per hour. Although this is helping, it is still difficult to obtain enough workers for some events. Mr. Irwin is working with the Athletic Booster Club in regards to budgeting for some bigger items, such as a potential record board and a possible update to the sound system in the gym. The next Activities Committee will meet again at noon on December 20th of this year, 2021. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
9.3, Norfolk Public Schools Foundation. Brenda.
The Norfolk Public Schools Foundation Board of Directors met on September 20th at 4:30 in this room. 11 board members were present. Board President Bobby Tyson called the meeting to order at 4:31. The board reviewed the meeting minutes from June and the financial reports from May, June, and July. Dual credit scholarships were awarded on August 24th. We awarded 125 students a $100 Margaret Robinson dual credit scholarship for the 21-22 school year. Dual credit scholarships are intended for current high school students interested in pursuing dual credit learning through Northeast during their time at Norfolk Public Schools. Our scholarship committee put a lot of time and consideration of this process with a very tight timeline. We appreciate their efforts. We had a record number of people apply, and we had anywhere from freshmen to seniors. It was pretty cool. The 2021 staff campaign kicked off on August 9th and ended on August 25th. Overall, the campaign went very well, raising $21,000 in a few short weeks. We had 48% participation from the staff. Recently, a fourth member of the Norfolk Public Schools Foundation Board was appointed to the Board of Education. The foundation will allow 2 board members to serve on the board. Jake Clausen and Brenda Carhart will continue to serve on the board, the foundation board. Leanne Wilhelm has resigned, and Jenna Hatfield-Wade will finish her term through 2021. Norfolk Public Schools Foundation is inviting the public to their Traditions Breakfast on Thursday, October 28th at 7 a.m. at the Lifelong Learning Center. This is our main fundraiser and our only fundraiser besides staff campaign for the year, where we plan to celebrate the tradition of academic excellence at Norfolk Public Schools. All funds raised for this event will benefit the Norfolk Public Schools Foundation and will help support students and teachers in our district. We hope you will join us. The next meeting will be on October 18th at 4:30. Meeting will be at the high school because we get to tour the career academies, which is going to be neat because the foundation was a big part in paying for the raised a lot of money for the career academies, so we want to see where all the money went. So that's a neat idea, and then the meeting will follow after that. Is there any questions? Just to give you themes, 3 of us are going to stay on until the end. We're each alternating one meeting that we won't come to, so that there's never 3 of us at a meeting at the foundation. So I'm going to not be coming to October's meeting, and then you're not coming in, you're busy in November. You're okay. So that way Jenna can fill out her time and be part of the board until the end.
And then you and Leanne get the boot, I guess. Leanne already got the boot, I get the boot in 4 months.
Well, means Jake is going to be president of the foundation next year. We didn't want to boot him. That's a hard spot to fill. Yeah, so he's an important guy. We got to keep him there.
Thanks, Brenda. Minutes of committee meetings, the minutes of October 5th, 2021 nurses meeting are attached for your review. We're to consent agenda, the minutes of the previous meetings for the budget hearing meeting number 1, the tax hearing meeting number 2, and the regular school board meeting held on September 13th are all attached for your review. 10.2 is personnel contract approval. We don't have any, but 10.2, resignations. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you, Madam President. I do have 2 resignations for your consideration this evening. Peggy Belt, senior high English and speech teacher, will be retiring at the end of the school year. And Tracy Schoen, district school psychologist, will also be retiring at the end of the school year. Although we hate to see either one of them go, I am pleased that they turned in their resignations early, so we will have ample time to find a suitable replacement for these 2 great ladies.
Is a school psychologist hard to find?
Yes, ma'am.
Harder than a speech pathologist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We're just doing resignation first.
The resignations.
I'll second that motion.
I thought we do the whole.
We usually do it the whole thing.
But we didn't do the
Okay, wait.
consent. Okay.
Yeah, we have to.
I take that back.
Take it back.
Good.
Everyone. Dr. Robinson.
Attached are the claims for the month of October. As stated earlier, these were reviewed at Finance and Facility at noon today.
I'll make a motion now to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Just a moment, I have to add Brenda to be present, sorry.
I'm sure the minutes will reflect you came much earlier.
5:35, actually, I have it as 5:35, I just forgot to change it, okay? You may vote, I'm sorry, what was the motion again?
Motion to approve the consent agenda by Tammy, second by Brenda.
Voting is now open.
Please vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, Mary. We are now to the action items. 11.1, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the school calendar. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you. Norfolk Public Schools will be hosting the Hack Track Meet on May 4th. The meet is scheduled to start at 11 a.m. with 20 busloads of students arriving by 9:30 a.m. In order for us to have enough workers for this track meet and enough open space for contestants, vans, buses, etc., the senior high needs to have this day off from school, which would require a calendar change. If this calendar change is approved by the board, all senior high staff would be expected to work the track meet or to sub for other teachers who will be working the track meet that day. There are some individuals from the junior high, elementary, etc. that are really good at working track meets, so they may come and then senior high people sub for them. Only students would actually get the day off from school. We have used this approach many times in the past and it works very well. In fact, we have similar but smaller track meets built into our calendar on April 21st for the senior high and May 5th for the junior high. We should have built this May 4th Hack Conference into our calendar, but it got missed somehow last year with all of the COVID things we were dealing with. I would also like to move our staff appreciation event from May 4th to April 27th so that all of our staff can participate. The calendar is attached for your convenience.
I would make a motion to approve the revised 2021-22 school calendar.
I would second that motion.
We have a motion by Jake and a second by Jenna. Is there any other discussion? Please vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, Mary. 11.2, discuss, consider, and take action to approve board committee assignments. The board committee assignments have been updated. I'm recommending that Leanne fill the position vacated by Bruce Mitchell, with the exception of superintendent evaluation. Jake Clausen has agreed to fill this position as Leanne has not had the opportunity to observe Dr. Thompson's performance as a school board member. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the board committee assignments.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Brenda and a second by Jake. Is there any discussion?
I think that's the easiest way to do it, given that it's already October, and we reshuffle in January, so you won't be there long. Unless you love them, and then you may have them forever.
Forever.
Who is the other person on besides Jake?
Tammy and I.
Oh, that was board policy specified since the board president, vice president, and one other member that are on the superintendent evaluation committee.
Please vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, Mary. 11.3, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the Norfolk City Education Association as exclusive bargaining agent for non-supervisory certificated employees for the 2023-2024 school year. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you. We have received a formal written request by the NCEA to be recognized as the exclusive collective bargaining agent for non-supervisory certificated staff. This action is required each year by Nebraska state statute. We have not received any other requests and never have received any other requests. Therefore, I recommend that this request by the NCEA be approved.
I'll make a motion to approve the Norfolk City Education Association as the exclusive bargaining agent for non-supervisory certificated employees for the 23-24 school year.
I second that.
We have a motion by Tammy and a second by Leanne. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, Mary. 11.4, discuss, consider, and take action to appoint one board member to serve as our voting delegate at the Nebraska Association of School Boards Assembly Delegate. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you.
This year's Nebraska Association of School Board Delegate Assembly will take place Friday, November 19th at 8 a.m. in conjunction with the State Education Conference at the CHI Health Center in downtown Omaha. The Delegate Assembly is where the NASB's annual legislative and leadership agenda is determined. Each school board is allowed to select one board member to represent the district as their voting delegate. This delegate is responsible for reading the NASB Advocacy Handbook prior to the meeting and then voting on behalf of our school. Is there a volunteer from those of you who are attending the State Education Conference to serve as the NASB Delegate Assembly?
I was the delegate, and it's an exciting job. I encourage you. The only thing is you have to get out of bed a little early, and you have to read the handbook, but I mean, you learn a lot, because otherwise you probably might not go.
Yes, I have also done it, and it's just interesting as a member of the Nebraska School Boards Association to see, you know, the positions that they're taking for the upcoming legislative session, any rule changes or bylaws. So who all is going to the four of us? Okay, so it should be one of the four of us. I doubt Sandy wants to.
That's why I quickly said I encourage.
After those two glowing recommendations, I would happily volunteer.
Okay.
Nah, it's not good.
Just this.
I should have asked that question first.
No, I think it'd be a great way to learn. I mean, I would have, if there were crickets, I would have happily done it again. But I think it's nice if you take a turn, because you really do learn. And we were fortunate that Patty was a representative on the NASB. We don't have that now, so I do think it's important for us to try to stay connected a little bit more, since we don't have that direct connection through Patty Google. So anyway, thanks, Jay.
Excellent. You're welcome.
And if you're feeling sad that Jay quickly took that, you can still go to the delegate assembly and sit in the back. You just don't get to vote.
You don't get a towel.
You don't get a towel. So we do need a motion.
Do you tell Jay how to vote then too?
Well, if he reads the handbook and is, concerned that anything we may want, he can talk to us individually. No renegades then, too.
Fair enough.
It's usually fairly benign.
You can count on me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I will make a motion to appoint Jay Clausen to serve as our voting delegate at the Nebraska Association of School Boards Assembly Delegate.
I can second that motion.
We have a motion by Tammy and a second by Brenda. I don't know that we have any more discussion, so please.
Should I abstain?
No. Yeah.
I definitely shouldn't vote no either.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, Mary.
And then, just as an FYI, I asked when the dates for next year's conference were going to be, so I could get them marked in my work calendar. Sharon said November 16th through the 18th, 2022.
Good to know. Thanks, Jenna.
So I plan on attending next year, so maybe I'll pre-volunteer.
Oh,
take a turn.
There you go.
Get knocked out.
It is a great conference. I love that conference. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going. I think it'll be a great learning experience.
And it's good for the board members that are there too, and Dr. Thompson, Dr. Robertson are always there, just to have some time to be together outside of
Some good fellowship.
Yeah, so it's nice to spend.
You are not even going to believe this, but we are to the end of this meeting. The second meeting of the Board of Education has been scheduled for noon on Thursday, October 28th, 2021. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Monday, November 8th, 2021. The study session will begin at 5:30 p.m. The regular business meeting will start at 6:30 p.m. All components of these meetings will be held at the MPS Central Admin offices and will be open to the public unless an executive session is needed in order to protect the interests of the district or the reputation of an individual.
We will need to have the second meeting of the month this month so that we can approve our annual audit before the deadline.
It should probably be a shorter meeting, could be, unless you have a lot of questions.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, so with that, we are going to convene to executive session to discuss negotiations as needed to protect the interest of the district. and possible litigation as needed to protect the interest of the district.
I'll make a motion to convene executive session to discuss negotiations as needed to protect the interests of the district and possible litigation as needed to protect the interests of the district.
I would second that motion.
A motion by Tammy and a second by Jenna. Please vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
We will not
Thank you,
take
Erin.
any action following executive session this evening.